Hello, my dear friends. How are you? Happy Janmashtami. This is an auspicious day. And on this auspicious day, let's start with something new. What is it? You know it already. Canadian literature series on Vallath. Most important works related to this genre, we shall start from today. Okay. So the first novel that I have taken up is Surfacing. Do you know about it? Today, you shall know everything. Surfacing novel published in the year 1972, written by Margaret Atwood. Look at Margaret on the screen. She is glowing, right? Even at this age. Born in 1939, she lives in Toronto, and Surfacing was her second novel. The genre of this novel is it is a psychological novel. It discusses what is happening inside the protagonist's mind. And also, many critics have called Surfacing as a detective fiction. Why detective fiction? Because a person is going in search for something. That is, a daughter is going to search for her missing father. That makes it a detective fiction. Setting of Surfacing is an island near Quebec, Canada, and the narrator is first person narrator. So the protagonist of the novel is the narrator of the novel, first person. And about Surfacing a little bit, an unnamed female narrator goes on search for her missing father. But during this search, she ends up finding herself, her true self. Okay. And Surfacing is also an allegorical novel in which the narrator feels alienated from society. How the society alienates a woman, whereas giving the status of dominance to a man. Okay. And she struggles to find her identity in this male dominated world. So, mota Surfacing is this. Now, let's begin with a good summary of the same. The narrator. Who is she? Let's know about her. The narrator works as a freelance artist. She is a very private and introspective person whose childhood was not very memoric. For example, her brother ran away from the house. Her mother was very private. She was aloof. She did not speak much. Her father was also a very rugged man who did not like society, because of which her father left the society and went to live alone somewhere in the wild. Okay, easy. This is about the narrator. Now, before the novel begins, the mother of the narrator has passed away due to brain tumor, while her father has been missing for some time. A little bit about narrator's father. He was a rugged man who wanted to escape city life. Therefore, he built himself a cabin on a remote island near his village. He is an atheist who likes 18th century rationalists. Okay. So he is not somebody who belongs to this world or to this century. He likes old things. He's rugged. He's an atheist. He's living in this small, detached cabin away from the world. This reminds me of Walden. Remember? We did the summary of Walden also in American literature. You should go and check it out sometime. So, okay, this is what is about the narrator, the female narrator, her mama, who is no more, and her father, who is missing for some time. Okay. So the narrator decides to go in search for her missing father with her friends. With which friends of hers? Listen, first, her boyfriend Joe. Second, her friend Anna. And third, Anna's husband David. So basically, four people are going in this rescue mission. Who are they? The narrator, boyfriend Joe, friend Anna, and Anna's husband David. Easy till here? Let's move on. Now, David and Joe are working on a movie called Random Samples, and they're very excited because they're like, if we go, on that island, we will get very nice footage for our film. So they are actually very happy. They have a dual mission. They want to search for narrator's father as well as they want to film their film, which is called Random Samples. Now, first, in this mission of trying to find Papa, what does the narrator do? She takes the help of her father's best friend, Paul, who lives in the village. But in vain, Paul cannot tell anything. But let me tell you, it was Paul only who had informed the narrator the first time about her father's disappearance. Okay. And Paul lives in a village near the island with his wife. And according to, the narrator, his marital life is not very happy. Now, next, Because Paul could not help, what does the narrator do? She takes the help of an American man named Evans. Evans is a guide, or Evans. He is a guide who takes the narrator and her friends to her father's workplace. That is, he takes them on a boat to that island where father's cabin is. Now, location of this father's cabin or workplace is on an island in the middle of a large lake. Easy. So now the setting will change. The setting will be on this island. All these people have come to the cabin, that is to this island, to search for the missing father of the narrator. This island borders Quebec. The narrator and her friends set up a camp in her father's abandoned cabin. In the cabin, they find many things, among which something strange is a stack of papers which belong to her missing father. These papers have strange and gibberish words and pictures scrawled on them, written on them. Nothing is clear what her father is trying to write or was trying to write. And looking at these vague drawings, the narrator gets worried about her father's mental health. She feels, has something happened to Papa? Is Papa fine? Is his mental state okay? These are the questions that she's questioning herself. Time moves on the island. Few days pass. Narrator is in between this wilderness. She admires the natural beauty around her, and this gives her time to introspect. Here, theme is Canada's wilderness. She's not very sure. See, now she's introspecting about her life. So what does she come to the conclusion? She's not very sure whether she loves her boyfriend, Joe. Joe is a quiet man and an unsuccessful artist. Basically, he's a potter. He makes pottery and takes pottery lessons. After this, the narrator remembers her disturbed past. That is, she had an affair with a man whom she calls fake husband. How can a husband be fake? You'll come to know about it. Just remember, she's remembering about her turbulent past with a man whom the narrator calls fake husband. And also, she conceived a baby, with that fake husband. But she had to abort the baby on the insistence of the fake husband. She's remembering all this while in the wilderness, okay? Now, then she thinks, initially, she was in awe of David and Anna's marital life. She thought that they were perfect as a couple. David would flirt with Anna and, they would compliment Anna. But slowly, narrator realized that something was fishy in their relationship. She realized that their marriage is fake. David is a womanizer who tries to sexually abuse and control Anna psychologically, whereas Anna tries to protect their marriage by being sweet and constantly applying makeup all the time. Now here, American theme, I want to bring it up. David is an anti-American. He predicts an American invasion of Canada. Yet the narrator feels that David possesses all the American qualities. Which qualities? First, he loves baseball. Second, he laughs like an American cartoon character, Woody Woodpecker. Third, he was in New York for many years, okay? And here, as you can see, theme of American expansion is discussed because to the narrator, who is also anti-American, she feels Americans commit senseless violence. Why? They kill for sport. They come to Canada, they set their camps in the forest, and they kill animals and birds for sport. These Americans love technology. They overconsume, okay? So this is what the narrator thinks about Americans. Now, one day, in this island, Joe proposes to the narrator for marriage. Joe, who is Joe? Narrator's boyfriend. But she's not ready for this change and she refuses. This refusal turns Joe into an irritable and selfish man. Now note, Anna and the narrator, they talk a lot, about different things. And there is one time in the novel when the narrator asks Anna that what is marriage, to which Anna compares marriage to skiing blindly down a hill, which means marriage is very risky. And this awakens narrator's fear of marriage. She's sad to see that in the marriage of David and Anna, there is unhappiness, there is cheating, and there is empty sex. Let me tell you, there's a point in the novel where Anna and Joe flirt and where David actually wants to woo the narrator. Imagine. Gadbad hai, sab gadbad hai. Okay. Now, eventually, the narrator discovers that the drawings by her father resemble the ancient rock paintings that he had been researching. So she gets very excited. She wants to go visit this site of the rock painting. But the location of this painting is underwater. Can you imagine? So narrator thinks that yes, she will dive underwater and she will visit this site where her father must have visited once. Now, while inside the water, something unforeseen happens. Instead of seeing the paintings, the narrator discovers what she believes to be a dead child. Remember, she was once pregnant and she gave up the baby. She went for abortion. So she feels that there is a dead baby inside the water. This brings back flood of memories in her mind. Now we'll come to know the reality of the fake husband. He was never husband to the narrator. He was in reality her art professor who was in an extramarital affair with the narrator. And when she got pregnant, he forced her to abort the baby. Theme of male dominance, right? Listen to a few lines of the narrator, what she says about herself. I have to be more careful about my memories. I have to be sure they are my own and not the memories of other people telling me what I felt, how I acted, what I said. If the events are wrong, the feelings I remember about them will be wrong too. I will start inventing them. Let me tell you, because she's the narrator, she actually plays with the facts in the novel. Once you will read surfacing, you will feel what she tells you at first in the novel is very different as she's moving. She's changing facts. She's changing about, her perspectives about people. Yes, initially she finds David good. Later, she does not. Initially, she's confused about Joe. Later, her feelings change. She cannot even categorize how Joe is as a person. Okay. She invents her own feelings, her own ideas. That is what the narrator is doing in surfacing. Now, she comes out of the water. There is no news of Papa till now. But what happens? The police come to the island with the news. What news is it? Please listen to this. The narrator's father's body has been found by some local fishermen. He's dead. He died accidentally on a trip researching local Indian wall paintings. These are the same paintings that she went, underwater to search her father around there. Yeah. So now what do you come to know? That the narrator's father is dead. The death of her father distresses the narrator further. Listen to what all happens to her. Please, this is important. First, she starts hallucinating and assumes that she is pregnant with a divine child. Second, she continuously remembers the image of her mother in a leather jacket feeding blue jays. She feels that she can bring back her parents from the dead. Third, she destroys David's film and hides from her friends who are forced to leave the island without her. Fourth, after her friends leave, she starts behaving like an animal. Like an animal, she destroys the cabin, feeds on wild plants, and sleeps outside. You should note here the narrator sees animals better than humans. She feels animals know how to coexist with nature peacefully. And here Atwood suggests that the reason for the narrator's madness is part grief, part wilderness, and a large part systematic social alienation that she feels as a woman. She's angry at the roles forced upon women, a wife, a mother, a sexual object, etc., etc. Here, theme, alienation of women. There's a time during this time, she actually rejects human language. She cannot understand what David is talking to her or what the search party is telling her. She cannot understand human language for some time. But then what happens? Few days later, this same narrator who was neurotic and mad is starting to recover slowly from her madness. She's recovering slowly from her neurotic state. Why? Look at this realization in the novel. She realizes that complete withdrawal from the society will result in her death, just like her father. Her childhood was isolated and crippled by religion and gender. Until now, she felt that withdraw from society will make her powerful. But after withdrawing from the society, after acting mad and wild, she acknowledges that in order to function in society, she must learn to love and communicate. Here, a theme of power. She decides that she will rejoin the society, but she will not succumb to its pressures. She will not take the pressures from the society that she was taking until now. She has found her true self. She knows where to, draw the line between her and the society. This is the realization she had in this island, on this island in Canada. Listen to these lines from the book. This above all to refuse to be a victim. Unless I can do that, I can do nothing. I have to recant, give up the old belief that I am powerless. And because of it, nothing I can do will ever hurt anyone. Withdrawing is no longer possible, and the alternative is death. After a few days, she's all alone. Yes, her friends had gone. Jo returns to the island to look for her. She's hiding behind the woods and she looks at him secretly, and she realizes that she trusts him and she even loves him. No matter he was flirting with Anna, even she had a past. She believes that Jo loves her and she can trust him. With this, we are done with surfacing. How did you like it? Our first novel in Canadian literature series is here. If you liked it, you have to comment below. Very soon, I will come with another great novel from Canadian literature. This is Hina from Team Vallath. Take very good care of yourself. And if you are preparing for the upcoming NET exam, I recommend that you join our NET quiz program. It will give you ample question answers to practice by yourself. Yes, if you want to join, kindly call us on the number 93878 39871. Bye bye. Take care of yourself.